What's up? Let's view on Twitch. Even though I know everyone will use YouTube. Come on, just go to Facebook. So slow. Why is this thing having to sign into everything again? Oh, God, I don't care. What is it with these stupid passwords? So sick of freaking passwords. Anyway, update password. Yes. Allow. Yes. Post something. Yes. Now it's going to load another window. Stop loading windows. And post. And then wait as the little thing swings. And then we go to Twitter. I don't know why this thing had to reset Google or Chrome. This is why I don't like Chrome. Now I got to log into everything. For some reason, Chrome reset everything for no apparent reason. I wonders why I like my Macs. Because I don't have to deal with this stuff when I use the Apple stuff. Sign in. I don't want to sign in with any of those. Can I just sign in? What the hell was it again? I gotta look up the password again. I don't know why they don't just let me see it as a default. I just did. That is the password. It's right off my little passwordy thing. No, it's not the password. I was looking at the wrong one. That's why. Oh, come on. I hate passwords. Not now. Just let me get in. Oh my god. Anyway. And tweet. Yes, yes, I know. I signed in to my thing that I should have been able to auto sign into. Trash, 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 trash. So many warnings. I mean, I get it to some extent, but the only people that can figure this crap out are the hackers. What's up, Justin? How is life? All right. Now, one last thing. Let's see if I can totally screw it up. And and send. And bing. Light it all on fire. You know, it's they make it literally so the only people that can figure it out are the people that do it as a living or hack it every day. Yes, yes. Enter studio. Come on. Allow. Enter. Enter. Mute the mic. And done. Except for I just heard it on my headset. And I don't want it on my headset. It shouldn't be connected to this headset at all. Oh, it dinged over there for the computer. All right. Okay. Add to stream. Why is it gray? Come on. Why do they make this stuff difficult? All right. Woohoo! You can see my ultra pink mat now. There we go. I just got this today. It's pink. It's very, very pink. It doesn't need to be leaning down quite so much and in the same spot. Let's go over here. And let's lean it up here. Come on. This thing's too stiff. And the clicky things are too clicky. I don't want them clicky. I want them in between clicky. Oh well, it was a $12 stand for my iPhone. All right, so the iPhone is working. Everything is working. You guys all got sound. What's up, non-fam? This thing. I've been looking for I've been using silicone mats. I got bunches of them. These were the thickest ones I've gotten. I've been slowly buying them, but they wear out fast for me. I keep doing stupid stuff. It's mostly me doing stupid stuff. But I wanted a really thick one. They're like $20 or $30. But every once in a while I look at, Amazon, there's always crap going on sale. And I looked up one and it was like $8.99. This is normally like $39 for this mat. This big and this thick. And it was $8.99. And I'm looking at it. I'm like, why is it $8.99? Because it's pink. All the other ones are like $29 and $39. There was like a weird gray that was $29, so we're $39.95. And that one was $8.99. I said, you know what? I'm over the pink for $8.99. I'm over it with a quickness, with a serious quickness. I could give a crap if it's pink or not. It's a mat. I'm going to beat the crap out of it. It's going to get covered in glue. And actually, this is the first one that actually sticks to the table, which is kind of what I wanted. So it's a non-slippy face. The problem is the minute they get sawdust under it, the seal doesn't hold anymore. I've had other ones that were non-stick and then not. But, oh crap! We're going to work on this thing right here. I might as well bring this camera to a place where we can see it. Okay, what's wrong? Why is this thing leaning so funny? Because it's leaning all funny. All right, whoops. Spun it. Now we're back in action, sort of. That's not really where I wanted it either, but it'll have to do. I think I can back it up more before I stretch the cord out too far. I think I got an extension for the cord somewhere. All right, that's all right. You don't need to see my ugly face anyways. So, this is part of my Moxon vise for the bench. And I had it all ready to go yesterday. And I don't know if you guys saw my live stream yesterday, but I chiseled out and put the nuts in so I could thread it through. This actually gets mounted underneath the bench with these big ass screws. And put it all together, glued these in there. A little bit of the glue got on the threaded rod I had in there. So I pulled it out real quick and it cocked the nut. I didn't realize it. So when I went to put the threaded rod back in, it was like bowing up. It was shooting up instead of being in line with the clampy part. So she got bandsawed off, a new piece glued on, and this morning I glued it on, or this afternoon, it was early this afternoon. And now I'm going to unclamp it and clean it up and plane it and do all the stuff to make it good again. So that's what we're doing. What are you guys doing? What are you putzes up to tonight? It is too low. I need to raise it up just a hair. Like about there. Right? Fortunately, I can't see what I'm doing while I'm doing it. Close enough. Like I said, no one wants to see my ugly mug anyways. The only thing I do want to do is be able to actually read chat, which I normally can't do because of that little screen. I think I gave my neighbor, when my brothers bought my M1 Mac for me, 2 years ago now, Christmas? I gave my neighbor my old one, my old Mac, because her computer had died. And I hooked it all up and showed her how to use it. She's never used it, not one day. So I was like, all right, well, if you're not going to use it, I think I want it back. She's like, okay. So I got to go down there and get it back. What I think I'm going to do is, my brother has one of the old iPads, which she uses her iPhone and knows how to use it. And all she wants to do is surf the web anyways. So I think what I'm going to do is give her the old iPad. Because she's only a year or two older than me, but she's really unhealthy. She had lung issues this summer and hasn't fully recovered yet, like really bad lung issues. So I think what I'll do is give her the iPad, the pad of eyes. Why do I feel like I'm missing some clamps? I could swear I had more of these clamps. All right, let's put the clamps away while I'm thinking about it. Otherwise, they'll just be in the way. And hopefully I won't need them again tonight. So I know you really can't see what I'm doing. Actually, you might be able to with the iPhone, huh? I'm re-racking my clamps. Oh, the clampy clamps go in the proper racky rack. I need to separate that rack because they're rubbing. Just because this one big one. Come on, loosen up. I gotta clean all the glue off of these. They got lots of glue on them and they're making them hard to move around. Because I use them for gluing. Because I'm a glue guy. All right, so here it is. All cleaned up. Clamped up. Excuse me. Sunday nap. Yeah, you're probably getting busy now, huh? What is that? A couple months? April, I think you said that thing is? Rough? I'm going to call it rough. All the Rip Rap festivals are dog barks. Murph, rough. You're a true rough. I'm not worried about this being perfect plane because this is just the back. Although I got a drill, and the drill needs to be square. That needs to be cleaned up. This needs to be cleaned up. This is the original. I don't care about that. So first things first, let's get rid of all the crap off the table saw. And I got some new feet for the table saw. Not that you can see it, but the table saw has a really hokey set of wheels on it. They are seriously hokey, and they frickin' suck. So I finally found them on sale, and I took the last of the money of what little money I made on making cutting boards for Christmas, basically, and spent the very last of that on that. Is that going to go high enough? I don't think it is. Oh, it might. Oh, just. Yeah, that's going to take a serious bite out of crime. All right. Let's move the vacuum over. Not that it really does a whole lot with this old piece of crap freaking table saw, because it's got like zero dust collection ability. I literally have cardboard in there, kind of shooting it around, so it's somewhat reasonable. This thing like smooth here, smooth here. I really don't want to. It's really not smooth there, is it? I really don't want to run it on this, but I guess I got to, because it's all designed and laid out to fit on the bench, and that's going to change its alignment to the bench. But I'm going to take the smallest of small bites. I don't even know if that'll even take anything. It's going to get noisy, folks. I hope you're ready. I don't know how much of this the mic picks up and how much the sound cancellation. These actually have some sound cancellation. We're going to find out. It's going to get loud. Good boy. This is smooth face. This is the original milled face. This is set back, so I can just buzz this off by going this away, feeding it in such way. Stay. Let's move the vac over. And fire this mother up. I think I need to take a little bit more off. Just a little bit more off. Which is really upsetting, but and that is smooth like a baby's bottom. It is, it is. So there's that. What is up, 3D printer decks? How is life with all your smiley faces? You're very smiley face-like. Non-fam and Justin, you're supposed to be on Twitch so I can get paid. I need to get paid. I'm running out of money. I just bought stuff with the last of my money. All right, I need to plane this off. I really don't want to plane it. I wonder if I could just flip it over and run it through the table saw. This is flat, this is flat. I'll have to do it twice but I think I can. And I think that's just what I'm going to do. And that way I don't have to fire up the planer, because I really don't want to fire up the planer. This is going to be a little hazardous. This is definitely a push stick situation now. Good, and all the sawdust sliding out the side. And there, this should all be straight. How square is my table saw? Probably not there. It's better than I thought. Let's do an obvious line in it. So it's got to be squarer than I thought. Yeah, actually, it looks pretty darn good. One little buzz mark there where I stopped. Might have this all patched up again. Now we got to bring it over to the miter saw. And of course, I was working on all this crap earlier and doing lighting, so everything here is discombobulated. And I was working on this thing, which is why it's all apart and in the way. And the vacuum's in the way. And everything's in the way. Because I was over here working on that. I'm going to make a custom duct unit for it, so I can hook it up to the central vacuum system. Right now, the power of this, it doesn't do as much volume of air, but it does more, it's a higher pressure, if that makes sense. So if I hook this up to the big dust collection system, it blows the dust collection system apart. It literally pops the top off of my Cyclone, like for real, pops the top right off, which is no damn good. So I've been opening the door and just shooting the crap outside, but it's wintertime, and opening the door is freaking cold and wastes heat and lets cold air in. And now that this place is all insulated and heated, I don't want to be doing that. So I'm going to build that's what you saw my tweet about prototyping. That's the prototype for the air duct / dust collection for the DeWalt. There's a guy who's already doing what I want to do, but I kind of don't like it. I should say I don't like it. It's a fine design. I just want to design my own. That means he wants money for it, which is fine. And his is actually pretty nice. All right, there's that. All patched up and ready to go again. All I got to do is drill out the hole in the back through this piece I just glued on. I already got the holes here. Set the freaking bolt in there. I'm actually glad I did this because the pieces I had glued here weren't very well clamped together this way. They were clamped to this, but there was a big crack right down the middle. So this should be a little better. Big old chunk of oak. I need a break. This thing's heavy. This is all white oak. It's freaking heavy. like real heavy. Is it all white oak, or is there some red oak mixed in there? No, that's all white oak. Oh no, actually, this front face is red oak. Is it? Yeah, this is red oak. This is red oak. These are all white oak. It's easy to tell looking at tin grain. How's it going, Sergio? So, Sergio, I found what's wrong with the Prusa bear. It ain't pretty. The tower, if you look at the front, the plate that's on the inside is loose and bent, and the plate that's on the outside is loose and bent. And what it was doing is it shifted the whole thing basically like this. I mean, I'm exaggerating it. So to level it to the bed, it was actually twisting the bearings going up on the right side. The LMUs against the 8mm rod. It was twisting it to get it level, which I noticed when like I would power it down, it would like snap down. You know, it would fight the motor lifting it once the motor's off. It couldn't hold it up anymore, and it was actually twisting it, and you could see the whole 8mm rod flexing. So luckily, I got more of them. I think during shipping, it got racked, and it just has been an issue ever since. It should be a fairly easy fix. I gotta frickin' tear the whole thing apart to fix it. And I'm really not looking forward to that. Just not looking forward to that. So the next thing I gotta do is drill a hole right there, all the way through. But I think the bit is still in there, but I think I'm gonna change it up a little. That's the right size. I actually opened these holes up trying to fix it without taking it all apart last night, and it just didn't work. So that's close. But it's no Cupid doll. Can I get the center? There's no real way to get the center of that now because this isn't perfectly round. Because I actually egg-shaped it trying to get it to fit and work with the rod tilted. Oh well. Life goes on. Right? Life goes on. Thought you were jumpy? Why did you think you were jumpy? So hopefully I can get this thing all working today. So let's drill some holes over here. Here, I can even bring the camera now. You can sort of see what I'm doing. Sort of. Kind of, sort of. Is that the drill press? I'm seeing the leads. It's a drill press, yes. Back in the chair, yep. So you can sort of see what I'm doing. I gotta sneak into my little corner over here. Here's the other bolt I was looking for. Of course, this thing ain't flat. You know, this thing even square. I never looked to see if this freaking table was square. Should have done that years ago. I don't think I've ever squared this table ever in my life. Ever in my life. Let's get all the junk out of the way. Well, that ain't right. Clean it off. That wasn't too smart. I guess I should get the vacuum over here. That ain't gonna happen. I'm just not in the mood. So it's just gonna get the brush treatment. because I got to vacuum this whole place out. I just freaking opened the doors Friday because it was so warm and just leaf blowed for like 20 minutes. I mean, I really cleaned. Like I cleaned it, I closed the doors, let the dust settle, and then did it again to get all the. Just when you're leaf blowing, it really doesn't. A lot of it just gets kicked up into the air. You get the bulk out, but all right. Let's see how square this table is. That actually looks really square. It's like perfect. All right. Takes care of that problem. All right. And there we go. I got it stopped. How much farther can I go? Jaws of the freaking drill press now. But I think I can sort of fix that by extending it just a little. I hate keyed chucks. They just suck. How much of this can I play with without screwing up? Center. Yep. I'm not a fan of keyed chucks. I used them when I was young. Uh-oh. That ain't working. The problem is I need that. So if I go like this, I can start it right in it. And then it'll be lined up. How's that for a trickery? Huh. What are you drilling? There it goes. Wasn't actually drilling. It was just sliding around. Probably because that drill bit's shot. Probably. But it broke through, sort of. All right, let's do this other one, and then I'll clean it up. I need a longer drill bit for this. Why is this thing not sitting flat? Drilling now. It's taking an awful lot. And it's smoking like the bear. It's a cheap freaking bit, that's for sure. But it is a nice clean hole. I might have to do that again over here. That puppy's hot. Can't imagine why, right? Actually cut it. That worked. Not perfect, but it's good enough considering I'm going to knock out a hex shape now anyways. I am. Damn, I am. Push sticks. I got wrenches and push sticks, and that's a shim. I want to save that. My thin shim of oak. Stream jumping. Oh, I got you. So what are you guys doing on this Sunday night? If I can take those nuts out of that other piece, I'm not going to bother trying. Just not going to bother trying. I did have another nut here. What did I do with it? Right here. I'm almost thinking I'm going to re-drill this backside with a slightly bigger drill bit. So all I have to do is knock out the corners. I could just figure out where the center is. And that way I won't have the problem of it rolling like it did before. That's irritating. I got a choke, and it's irritating me. It's kind of warm in here. So I'm going to use the old chisel, even though it's going to break out. I'm going to break it out so it's laying flat. Because it's all going to get chiselated anyways. It's all going to get chiselated anyways. But now, I should be able to lay the nut in here somewhat flat. Now I got a void instead of an uptick. That didn't help. That didn't help at all. Yeah, I think I'm going to put a bigger bit on the drill press and just knock out a hole. Come on. I'm not a big fan of this drill press. It's actually a nice drill press. Honestly, I'd rather have a tabletop over this for what I do. It's just big. It's just big, bulky, kind of unnecessary. Uh-oh, got a message. It says somebody's messaging me. See what they're messaging me about. Somebody texts me and it kicks me out of the stream because the text comes up and prioritizes because of my mother. She's asking me stupid questions that if she just opened her eyes, she'd see it. All right, back to what I was doing. I really don't care about her gallon jug. We don't need a gallon jug. Freaking stupid. So tired of stupid. And that right there is the perfect size. Like, perfect. I couldn't ask for anything better if I tried. Ooh. I hate keyless. I hate key chucks. I just hate them. All right. Right. Yeah, I can move the camera over so you guys can actually see what I'm doing, huh? That would help. And the camera won't die because I don't know if you can see it, but I got one of my big battery packs on here. So it won't die because the last couple of times I tried using the phone on the stream, it kills the battery. So I have a big battery pack on there. This is probably stupid because like I did before, I'm just eyeballing. But thing doesn't slide like I want it to. Stop walking. It walked. And when I go to move it, it like jumps. So it's just sliding over, which sucks. I really want a tabletop. I would much rather have a tabletop drill press than this, to be honest. This thing is just too obnoxious for what I do. Because if I had a tabletop, I'd have it like, I'm actually thinking I'm gonna make a I'm gonna match this to the miter box, lower the head down, cut the pipe, whatever. So the miter box and it have the same table. And then that way I can get rid of that stupid miter box stand. It's a good miter box stand for a job site, but for a in the garage, it's pointless. Don't walk. That looks pretty darn good. That actually looks really good. I worked it out. I worked it out, man. I worked it out. Nope. 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 It's smart. That's really good. And that, my friends, is that. It actually worked really well. This should be better than last time. Because now I got a flat face, not my little chiseled out face that was all not flat and caused the bolt to be all not bolt like. To be all unbolty. There's one out here somewhere. Where is it? Where is it? Hopefully, if I do this correctly, I should be able to just pound it a couple times. Somewhere around here, I have the brass insert, which should, in theory, slide right in there. It may not, but it does. And that should stabilize this thing so it's going straight. And they don't look straight. So it is pretty straight. Right there. I can actually use the nuts to hold it straight, sort of. Oh, no wonder why. Brass insert's not staying. That's what I want. That stabilized it a little bit. That stabilized it a little bit. Oh, close to the bench. Almost there. Oh, I'm too close. Use the two nuts there. Gotta go that way. Once to relax out of square, it means that hole wasn't drilled quite right. And I can get it to stay pretty darn close, I think. Right there. I believe I can just pound that nut right in there with that bigger hole. Okay, why is it square on one side and not on the other? Something ain't right. What I'm hoping I can do, there's a little bit of play in there, is just pound it right in there. That's why I did that bigger hole. Get it all straight, or at least straighter than it was. And then hit it with some epoxy. I mean, there's play. So I think I'm good, actually. This is going to take a while. Let's speed that job up. Because I ain't in the mood to sit there and wait for that. It's actually warm in here. That looks better than what I had before. So let's do that again. Mm-hmm. Right around there. Right around there somewhere. And I need the other brass insert, which I believe is here, ain't it? Yep, right here. Which, in theory, should just sit right in there. And it does. And that helps some to hold it at the right angle. It looks like it's right there. That puppy's in there now. I hope it's reasonably straight. It looks a lot straighter than the last attempt I had. And it's a little off. There you go. This away. I cleaned this, right? I didn't. Yeah, I cut it. Oh, that might be part of the problem. This might not actually be flat because I did it on the table saw. But budgiculating a bowl, and it's had enough play. So when I mount it all, it should line up. Oops. Let's try mounting it and find out. Let's try mounting it. I wish I had my nice new squeezy clamps I'm supposed to get, because they would be nice squeezy clamps to have right now, and squeezy clamp it up. And squeezy clamp it all up. But I don't have them. Like egg! See you, Sergio. Have a wonderful evening. I'm hoping this week I can fix the Prusa Bear. I have a feeling it got screwed up there in shipping. One in. Oh, by the way, this is probably going to be noisy. Mount that puppy up. And this should be a little bit sloppy. with these. I need one more nut. I have one more around here somewhere. There's another threaded rod here somewhere. Where's my other threaded rod? Because this is not the one. It is not the one. Is it? The same height as this one? No. Should be another one this length somewhere. Where is it? Where are you, Mr. Threaded Rod? Did you fall on the floor? Did you get buried in the... Yep. That's where it is. It got buried in here, huh? Yep. And that's where the nut is. So, drill. Hopefully, here's what it is. Sounds like it's binding. Where are we binding? Oh, we're binding on the bench leg. But you know what? That's going to work. This is moving like it should now. The only thing is it's a little low, but that's okay. So I'm happy with that. Because now all I need is a handle. And I need to open up the holes in the bench more. So, because it's actually pinching on the bench. Because the holes in the bench aren't straight. But everything else is. These are okay, because this thing's sliding around on them. Like it should. Even though it's not lined up. I wonder if it's supposed to go the other way. It does go the other way. Because the C's upside down and backwards. So they may not be the same height, and therefore, and of course, I buggered the threads with the drill. Let's find out if I flip it over like so. If it lines up better at the top. And it does. Still not perfect, but it's close. And it's just a little too high. And it's pretty even if I lift this side. It's still sort of binding over there, but I'm over that. So what I need now is a little cleanup work. And some wheels, some handles. Now I'm going to make candles. What time is it? 8 o'clock. It's 8 o'clock at night. It's late for me. But I think that's going to work. I do. That's sweet. I'm okay with that. I'm happy with that. Happier. It's not perfect. It wasn't my original plan. I don't know if you saw me doing it the other day. I just hand drilled everything. I should have clamped these together. If I put the brass, I got to get 2 more brass centers. That's why this is bobbling around so much. There needs to be a brass, which will lift it up. Brass sleeve in here, so it slides around nice and easy. But this one before was like way up in the air. Like it was all binding because it was going in an angle because that nut was screwed up. It was like rubbing up here and then rubbing down here, and I was trying to make it work and I just couldn't. So now I get to take it all apart and throw some epoxy around those nuts. So let's do that right now. That'll be the last thing I do. It's going to get loud, guys. Oh, these are hanging up. Aren't they? Should come out though. Alrighty, I got too much stuff on this little bench. So, if I lube it up, and I didn't bring my damn pencils in here, or sticks. I lube this up. The resin shouldn't be able to stick to it, in theory. I got some on the nut too, which I don't want. On the inside of the nut, just not the outside of the nut. Maybe I came up far enough. And a little oily wax on the threads will keep the resin from sticking to the threads, right? The epoxy. Which I got a little too much on there, I think, but that's all right. I'm thinking the oak will hold it enough once I put tension on that thing after a few times. It ain't gonna spin in it. It'll suck it in some more, but I don't think it'll spin it. But we're gonna do the epoxy anyways, because, well, I went out and bought it. So I'm gonna use it. Let's put away stuff I don't need and is in the way. Because, you know, it's in the way. Coffee is not in the way. Actually, that's tea. That's not even coffee. It's tea. I think I'm going to have me a tea break. This is tea. Tea. So, I didn't bring the bamboo sticks. I had some bamboo sticks that we can use for doing just this. So I didn't bring them out. But you know what I do have? I have a bunch of old, really long nails. And right here somewhere, what do they do with it? I have a thick piece of, those are actual stickers, but they're all screwed up. So if I use the back, it won't matter. And we will apply some 5-minute epoxy that takes like an hour and a half to frickin' cure. As I found out yesterday. 5-minute set, it's like 24-hour cure. Which I thought was kind of funny, but that's alright. I don't need very much. And the cap is a pain in the ass, but it actually works because that's still liquid. Whoa, you bastard. How did I know you're going to roll right into it? I'm not even going to put on gloves this time. I'm going to be super duper careful. Right? Right. You should do is epoxy a washer right on here, but I don't think I'm going to. Not yet. Anyway. Then I can't get to the nut ever if I want to adjust it. Right now, with my track record, I'm probably going to want to adjust it. Mixing the 5-minute epoxy. Pretty sure this thing says you don't even have to mix. It comes out side by side and it pre-mixes, but it doesn't mix. It just comes out side by side, which makes no sense to me. But that's all right. I threw out that old knife blade. I actually wouldn't mind the old knife blade right now because I can level it off with it after. Stirring. It's probably going to start hardening on me while I'm stirring. Okay, that's probably enough. I'm going to very carefully just put it around the edge and try not to get it on the threaded rod at all. And just the inset outer edge of the bolt, not bolt. Hopefully that'll be enough. Which, again, it's clamping. It's inset in the oak. All this is going to do is keep the oak from stripping out and letting the nut spin, which I don't think it should do because the more I tighten and it wants to spin, the more it's going to embed into the oak, preventing it from spinning. That all makes sense. I got some on the threads. Good thing I oiled them. Hopefully that works. Anyway. Hopefully that works. Let's go do the other one. I'm making this shit up as I go, if you haven't noticed. soaking down in around the nut. I didn't think it would. It's kind of gel. It's thicker than like art resin. I didn't think it was going to soak down in, but it kind of is. So, good. That means it'll actually do what I want it to do. It'll harden up the yolk around the nut. And prevent the nut from moving. Which is kind of the whole point. And again, I don't think, I'm thinking about taking the nut back out. I don't think I need to. No, I did get it around the threads a little more than I'd like. Luckily, it's all oily. So I just back it out a little bit. Shouldn't be a problem. Shouldn't be. It's already getting kind of thick. Tacky, gummy. Gummy. It's getting kind of gummy bearish. Which means it's about done being worked with. Yep. That's about it. It's getting gummy. Little strings now. I think come down. And that, yeah, that's done. That be done. Come here now. In the garbage with you. Now, if I back these out now, you know everything's kind of where it needs to be. And I can make sure to clean off them threads. Which I don't want to put the drill on this because I don't want to put that much force on it. This is taking off for a long time. And hopefully that wax makes it so whatever resin did come in contact with these threads. And I did that because I wanted to hold the nut straight, even though I didn't think it was going anywhere. It looks like all the resin came off. Yep, that's tacky as crap now. This should work. It ain't no frickin' purchased. Hey, what's up? Kilroy's here. I haven't seen you in a while. Yeah, we're doing all right. I screwed this up, but I think I fixed it. I screwed it up yesterday, and I fixed it today. When I went and set the nuts, this is going to be a Moxon vise. When I went and set the nuts yesterday, a little glue got on the threaded rod. I put the threaded rod in when I'm setting the nut, so I'm trying to keep it straight. A little resin got on it, epoxy. because I'm epoxying them in there, and I got scared that it was gonna epoxy the threaded rod in, even though I oiled it. I did oil it, but not as good as I did tonight. But I was scared it was going to epoxy it in, so I unthreaded it. Well, when I unthreaded it, it must have cocked, because when I went to put the vise on, this is the actual vise part. This is getting mounted to the bench. This piece here, it wouldn't go through. It was too much of an angle, and it was binding everywhere. It was one was at an angle and one was straight. So there was that. I wonder if I can use this thing and scrape off that resin while it's still gummy, or if I have to wait until it's hard. It's been so long since I've used 5-minute epoxy. It's probably been 20 years, 30 years since I've used any 5-minute epoxy. No lie. Just never use it anymore. Don't know why. Don't have a need for it, I guess. Would be a good reason. Let me scrape that. Yeah, sort of. I'd like to get it off now while it's gummy, because it'll be easier than when it's hard. But I don't know if it's going to pull it out around the nut. Doesn't seem to be. Seems to be working. This is my dad's old gasket scraper from when we used to build drag racing motors. This thing's actually, I think it was my grandfather's originally. Back in the day when, people like worked on their own cars. You didn't just take it to the gas station or to the dealer because you could. Nowadays, I wouldn't even think about working on a modern car other than maybe change the oil. And even that's like not the easiest thing in the world to do. It actually worked pretty well. Not perfect, but it's definitely cleaner. And flatter and less goopy on the face. Let's do the other one. Oh, look, the brass is in there. It's all threaded. I don't know if you can see that, but if you look in there, you can see the threads from where it was binding yesterday. Because it was an angle. This is actually working really well. Better than I expected it to, considering I just sharpened it with a piece of regular old sandpaper. It is just a gasket scraper. It's not like a real chisel or anything. Which is what I sharpened it with all my life, is with sandpaper or a file. If I wanted to be fancy, I used a file. All right, that seems to work. That cleaned it up. I can hit it real quick with some sandpaper in the morning. Too gummy now. The sandpaper needs to go in the garbage. It's just 220 in it. Cleaned it up pretty nice. I don't think I've sanded or filed this thing in like 10 years, 20 years. The last time I had to remove a gasket. Oh, on my, that was only a couple years ago. Maybe a year, 2 years ago. On my, leaf mulcher. I took the head off. And cleaned up the valves. I didn't actually do anything else. And I didn't even have to I didn't even buy a new gasket because the gasket popped right off with this. I still work on my cars. I was with the Neon, with the The van, I would work on the van. That's the last car I've owned that I will work on. The new car I will never work on. That thing's too complicated. I did change the oil in it, and it's a pain in the ass. The oil filter is right on the top of the block. It's on the top of the block, not underneath, like most of the old ones are. It's right on the top. You think you can get right to it? You can't. The way the manifolds and all the hoses and everything, no way to get to it, and you can't get your hand in there with enough torque on it to undo it. You have to like go in there with their little wrench, the kind that sit on top of the freaking oil filter. It looks like a little cap. It's got like whatever it is, 8 or 10 sides where the finger grips are on the oil filter. And it sits on it. Then you got to go in with a elbow joint and then come up and then another elbow joint. And it's just a fucking nightmare. And then getting it back in is even worse. I won't be doing it again. I'll pay somebody $100 to do it so I don't have to. Because I don't want to ever do that again. What's up, 3D print help? I didn't see you in there. How's it going, man? How is life, guys? I fixed the nuts on my Moxon vise that I screwed up yesterday. I fixed them tonight. So hopefully I can actually permanently mount this thing tomorrow, even though I don't have handles for it yet. And I need to drill these out a little more because it's hitting the holes right here in the bench underneath. I got 2 holes right here. You probably can't see them, but so when these thread in, this actually mounts to the bench, like so. This mounts underneath right here. Rods go through. Got some brass bushings in there. I got to get 2 more brass bushings. I don't know why I only bought 2. I really need that's 2 in this one. So should put 2 in this, 2 in that, and at least 2 in the actual vise head. It just makes it so it slides better on these instead of dragging on the oak. But these are expensive. I'm wondering if I could just take a piece of frickin', I think I got a piece of plumbing around here, copper. I can just slice it. This is, you know what? I may not even have to slice it. I'm pretty sure it's a 1/2 inch. I could probably just take a piece of 1/2 inch frickin' copper pipe I got laying around, slice it off and slam it in there. Yeah, back in the day it was. I used to build dragsters in the 70s and early 80s. Go drag racing. I built a couple of them. And they were, it was easy back then. There's no emissions it was like a block, heads, water pump, timing belt, or timing chain. It wasn't a timing belt, it was a timing chain. Your valves. Distributor cap, intake, carburetor, actual carburetor, not fuel injected. I actually made mine fuel injected. It was a throttle body fuel injected, but my last dragster I built was actually fuel injected. Because it started out as a 283, and I was a dumb kid. And I was like, bigger is better. So I could only get a 283 to fit in the trend. I had it. I wasn't going to go out and buy a new block and everything. So I had it bored and stroked and all that. It ended up being like a 309 or something like that by the time it was all bored out and everything. Got some Corvette heads to bolt to it. Got a Corvette Fireball freaking cam, rocker valves, did all that. Put a high-rise intake that stuck up out of the hood like something out of Mad Max. Cut a hole in my Camaro hood. We actually cut it at the garbage depot where the garbage man was. He took out his grinder and we traced it out and he cut it by hand and it was gorgeous. He did a beautiful job. Made a little hood scoop for it. And I put a 750 double pumper on it and took it out to the drag strip. And it did all right. It didn't do great. It was kind of like dogging. Some real old Crudy dude like looked like something from the Hillbillies was in the pits. He goes, "You need a smaller carburetor." Walks away. Like, who the hell is that? Everyone in the drag strip goes, "That's freaking." I can't remember his name. He was like some like local famous engine builder dude. And he was like, "He actually told you what to do. Do whatever he said." So I walked back up to him and I was like, "Hey, you got a minute?" He's like, "I don't want you, little boy." He was like an old hick. I was like, "Well, you said smaller. What would be a good thing?" And he goes, "Told me go find a little 450 out of like a Malibu or something, a little 450 4 barrel." He goes, "You're choking that little motor. You know, the little motor will go faster with a smaller carburetor. You're just flooding it with the big 750." I was like, "All right." So I went to the junkyard and I found an old Malibu, and bought a carburetor, rebuilt it, put it on there. I was getting like 11 nines in a 1980 Camaro, which is like the heaviest Camaro ever built. It was over 2 tons, if I remember correctly, especially with all the crap I had on it, because I put the roll cage on it and I put the frame rails in it, because the Camaros are unibody. So you put a frame rail between the front and it's not unibody, it's semi-frame. There's a frame in the front and there's a frame in the back, and between the seats, basically, you use the body as your frame. So you buy these rails, you bolt or weld in. I bolted them in because I didn't have a welder. Bolted them in. I was getting just short of 12 seconds, which is freaking amazing for such a heavy car with such a little motor. It was like, holy crap. And after that, I had to make it street legal. So I actually went out and bought another 400 or 425 or something like that. Same Malibu. It was like from an 80s Malibu, not a 70s Malibu. And got a fuel injected throttle body to put it on to make it street legal, because it wouldn't pass emissions. And it was an 80, so it actually had to pass emissions. But yeah, it's funny talking about the frame rails. A friend of mine was building a 70s Camaro at the same time I was building my 80 Camaro. His was a 71, mine was an 80. I put a little itty bitty 283 in it. He put a big, massive 400 big block, all built and stroked and bored and whole 9 yards. Big frickin', I think he even put a turbocharger or blower on it. I think he actually put one of those underhood blowers on it. I can't remember, so long ago. And jokingly, we were doing the time trials. And he's like, "Come on, let's race." I'm like, "Yeah, you're gonna smoke me." He goes, "Yeah, but it'll be fun. Let's see what your little motor can do." I was like, "All right." So we get on the freaking starting line. This is the first time he's dragging it. And he gets on the starting line. We line up, do the whole smoke the tires, do the whole 9 yards. Light goes green. I take off. I'm like, "Where is he?" I look in my rearview mirror. He's way behind me. Well, he punched it. He never put the frame rails on this Camaro, and the whole car just went dunk. The left front tire. No, right front tire. Right front tire. Can't remember which way the torque is, but anyways, the car just twisted. It just freaking twisted the whole body, and it lifted the one front tire right off the ground. So we got to the end of the drag strip. The tire was never touching the ground. It just twisted. It corkscrewed the whole car. I was like, "You dumbass! You never put your rails on." We bought the rails the same day. We actually got a deal because we bought 2 sets that day. He never bolted his on. He's like, "Oh man!" He destroyed the car. It like buckled the sheet metal underneath the seats and everything. It just destroyed that poor Camaro. And it was a nice Camaro. It was like I think it was a 70 or 71. I think it was a 71. It was beautiful. It was a really nice Camaro. It's kind of like an orangey gold. All the paint was all stock. He never touched it. He bought it, I don't know, late 70s, early 80s from a grandma that had a garage the whole time. Only had like 20,000 miles on it. The car was absolutely gorgeous, and he destroyed it with one punch of the throttle. There ain't no straightening it out after that. That's it's done. Anyway, on that note, it is 8:30 at night. That's fixed. I was gonna work on these, but it's already 8:30, and I'm kind of tired. I was gonna pull this all down and put the new wheels on that, but it ain't gonna happen. And I don't want to get halfway into it and then quit because my brother's coming tomorrow. He wants to make a medicine cabinet. He's like, "Hey, we got all this oak. We can make a medicine cabinet, huh?" I'm like, "Yeah, in like a couple hours. It wouldn't be that hard. I mean, more than that to finish and everything, but to actually cut it up and glue it together and build it is only a couple 3 hours." He's like, "Let's do that tomorrow so I can have a new medicine cabinet because right now he has one of those cheapo bolt-on, Walmart-y, Home Depot-y, 1995 mirrored plastic." He's like, "Let's do a nice inset one and all that." I'm like, "Okay, cut a hole in your wall and measure the studs." And I know his house ain't standard, and of course it wasn't. It was 13 inches, not 15 and a half, or 14 and a half, excuse me. So we have to make a 13-inch box with an inch and a half flange. So he could just face screw it to it. You don't have to worry about going in there and trying to figure out how to angle screw because he'll never figure it out. I shouldn't say that. It'd just be easier if he can face screw it. We'll put some hinges on it, put a mirror on the front, a couple of shelf brackets, so he can have a nice. I guess we're gonna make it out of oak. I got a lot of oak. Make it out of teak or cedar. I got some poplar around too. But we're gonna make him a nice little medicine cabinet. Anyway, on that note, I'm killing it. Y'all have a good night. See yous.